stop feeling guilty for wanting what you want in your life. In this video, we're gonna talk about this guilt consciousness, those pervasive feelings and beliefs and thoughts that so many people have when it comes to their desire, their goals, the things they want to create and manifest in their life. It is one of those subtle voice and feeling that a lot of people don't realize that it's actually preventing them from actually creating the life that they want, because it has this power over them, feeling like, would it be making me wrong or bad, or will people judge me, or will people, what will people say if I do get it, right? So there's this inner conflict that feeds, that builds on doubt, and that prevents people from actually going after what they want. And it's also one of the main reasons why people play small, or they're afraid of being seen, they're afraid of going what they want, they're afraid to becoming bigger, to have more success, more fame, more money, because they don't want to be bad or wrong or selfish or not loved or rejected in a certain way. So let's talk about this guilt consciousness and why it is a must for you to eradicate those beliefs if you really want to attract and create the life that you want. All right, guys, so before we go into this video, guys, thank you for watching. And if you enjoy this type of content and you want to see more of this type of videos, make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you can also help me grow this channel, guys. All right. So guilt consciousness, feeling guilty about your desire, or your goals, what you want to create, is actually something that I see often. In almost every single one of my clients. And recently, again, I was talking to a client of mine who is a wellness teacher, okay? And we were talking about charging more. Yeah, raising your price, raising how much she's charging, and expanding that container of receiving more money, charging, offering more value, and that give and take relationship. And somehow, I could hear in the way she was describing that inner conflict inside of her, feeling that, well, what if people don't have the money? What if, it's wrong? What if they don't pay me? What if they leave? What would they say if I start charging too much? Would I become one of those, just greedy people who actually don't care anymore about just helping people? And I don't want just this to be focused about money. And so you see the story was going all around justifying why maybe she should not charge more, even though she wants to raise her money. She wants to grow her business. She wants to be able to reach more people. But at the same time, there's this guilt conflicts. What will people say, right? What would happen? Would I be a bad person? Would I be wrong in some way for charging more, right? What about those people who don't have enough money to pay me and then ask them for more, and they go into even more struggle? So you see, all of this is the guilt voice, and it's pervasive and it's subtle, and sometimes it is very difficult to notice that it's guilt, because it almost comes in the form of a hidden noble voice, right? That noble voice of, I'm doing the right thing, I'm doing the grander thing, the best thing, the unselfish things for others, but it's really guilt that is masquerading as something better. Because think about it for a second. What happens is that as you create that story, those excuses, that reasoning, that rationalizing about why you're not going, or maybe you're doubting yourself, or why there's this this thinking going on, it's all about you being a good person, being lovable, feeling important and special in a certain way. That's really what it comes down to. And so guilt comes in when we feel like, well, I might lose that specialness. I might become, unloved, unliked, rejected by my peers, by my family, by my followers, by what people would say if I do certain form of action, or if I expand in a certain way, or if I change and no longer fit in that social group, then what would people say? Yeah? And all of this comes in for a lot of people, again, generalizing here, but often what I see is that it is magnified when it comes to money and success, because those two things are really tied up deeply to our self-image and our sense of self-worth, okay? And because when we have a self-image or a sense of self-worth that requires a lot of external validation, meaning being validated by people's opinion, good opinion and impressions of us, or our status, or what we are doing, or who we are being, right? It can really fast shake us up and make us feel insecure, make us feel like we're doing something wrong or something outside of the norm. This has also a lot to do with your strategy as a child, as a kid, of being loved by your parents and of being the good boy or the good girls. And we all learn strategy to receive love and affection from our parents. There's certain things that we had to do, okay? And there's certain things we had to avoid because that was leading to, pain, punishment, or our parents kind of withdrawing, love and affection because they were angry at us, so to speak. So we create those rules, those strategy, those, subconscious patterns for us to seek being a good boy or a good girl. And for a lot of us, we never outgrow those patterns because we're so deeply unconscious of them. And so we go in relationship, we go to work, we go to places, and we perpetuate those patterns. That's why a lot of people are just playing nice, being nice, diluting their opinion, just being like chameleon, morphing into what they think people will like of them. That's the safe strategy that a lot of us has, right? If I avoid conflict and confrontation, people will just like me, and people like me, they will meet my needs, and then it will create this loving relationship, so to speak, right? But you see how this can become a problematic pattern, because at the moment you start to take responsibility for what you want in your life, and the moment you start to expand, being like, I know what I want to expand, I want to grow my business, I want to become richer, I want to take care of my financial situation, I want to become more successful, yeah? So you're expanding, but all of a sudden now, you're hitting all those old rules and beliefs, the strategies, all those, don't be too greedy, don't be too this, don't be too selfish, be humble, be modest, you don't need so much. All those ideas that you might have learned. And all of this is contributing to guilt. So guilt is one of these lower dense emotions. It's on a scale of consciousness from Dr. David Hawkins, guilt and shame are one of the lowest emotions. So think about this for a moment. When you give in to guilt, those guilt thoughts, it is actually acting from a very low state of consciousness. So what that does is that it actually prevents you, it actually acts up as a barrier to you going and manifesting the things that you want in your life. Okay, because on one hand you say, I want to grow my business and make more money, or whatever it might be, right? But on the other hand, you have that guilt, and that really says, I don't deserve it. Because guilt is always about, I need to earn it, or I need to earn the right, or somehow I need to deserve that. And then it will be okay for me, right? But if you want to stop and break, that guilt consciousness, that guilt that makes you feel like it's wrong, it's bad, it's selfish, what will people say? You have to outgrow that consciousness, all those beliefs, all those layers. And that's why I'm rambling on here, going into so many different angles, because you can see how deeply rooted guilt can be in our psyche and in our subconscious mind. And it usually comes, from kids, because guilt and shame are often used for us to teach us, the right way. And if we do it the wrong way, we go into a guilt trip. That's why often parents use guilt, even late in life, to have obedience from people, okay? I'm rambling on a little bit, okay? But you have to understand that this is deeply rooted, and you have to first be able to see it if you want to root it out completely. So the key to move outside of guilt is to first notice it in your life. What are the thoughts, the stories, or what are the behavior that come from this guilt consciousness? And then slowly start to pick them out, because you have to start realizing that your self-worth, your self-image is deserving of whatever the fuck you want in your life. And this is something you really have to embody in your body. It's not just a conceptual thought, because that will not do the trick, okay? You have to really embody that, being like, what? I deserve this. It has nothing to do with me being a good or a bad person. If your intention is good, and it's going to be good for me and everybody, that's it. That's the whole intention you have. And after that, you can completely release any form of guilt that may prevent you from moving into that version of yourself. But you have to condition your self-worth and your self-esteem. And you have to condition it in a certain way so that you truly feel like worthy of having what you want, deserving of the life that you want, and that it's good for you, and that you are a good person, and that your sense of self-worth is not to be validated by somebody because of what you do or what you may not do. You have to realize that it is yours to decide, it is non-negotiable, and that guilt cannot exist in the presence of love. So if your intention is loving for yourself and will benefit others, then guilt has no place in it. So ask yourself, is this thought, is that story coming from a lower place of guilt and fear and shame, or is it coming from a place of love? Ultimately, you have to break those old patterns of being a good boy or a good girl and just create a new pattern of you moving into your divinity, moving into your sense of self-worth, knowing that you deserve everything that you could possibly be, do, or have in this life. It is your right, and it's good for you. It's good for everybody around you as well. All right, so I hope this makes sense, guys. Stop feeling guilty for what you want. You deserve the very best. Let me know what you think down in the comment, guys. As always, if you like this form of videos, guys, let me know what you think and hit that subscribe button to help me grow this channel. I will see you next time. Be well.